Listen, you need to pay attention, because the metaverse, or as Nvidia would call it, the omniverse, is going to be far bigger than that which most people can even comprehend. How big? Well, what do you think lifelike VR resolution is going to herald? Real-time modelling of our real world, indistinguishable from that which you see when you step outside your front doors. That's what's coming. And not just one world, but dozens, hundreds, eventually thousands of simulated Earths. In fact, any planet. That's what's coming. So Facebook hit the nail on the head by bringing forth the realization to the masses of the emerging metaverses with their corporate name change to Meta. Though most will soon forget what all the fuss was all about and carry on their merry way until the next big metaverse story hits. So this aspect of the quantum AI megatrend will continue to trundle along in the background. However, savvy investors will already be aware of the metaverse and what it heralds in terms of virtual products and services as the headsets technology players catch up, so as to allow the masses to escape from an increasingly dismal economic future given the rise of machine intelligence, automation that seeks to replace human labour, as we have seen play out in countless movies such as Ready Player One. Whilst those who are sceptical of the metaverse, or what I would call virtual worlds and see it as a flash in the pan, will soon to be forgotten for the next big thing, need to understand that we already inhabit a virtual world in our day-to-day city lives, none of which is natural, but virtual space carved out by humans to inhabit, to earn points, i.e. currency, to buy goods and services, which is why so many people are easily able to escape into video games and the virtual spaces which the metaverse virtual worlds take to the next level. Metaverse are basically going to start off as gaming environments that are being monetized by means of crypto tokens, such as buying virtual land, and they are paying millions, $10 million for a plot of virtual land. Why do you think they're spending $10 million? Because they know how big it's going to get. I can imagine that many, if not most of us, within the next 10 years will be spending a significant portion of our daily lives in virtual spaces by donning VR headsets and probably along the way augmented reality headsets, though I see that as temporary. Maybe some will be wearing immersive suits to simulate at least 4 of the 5 senses. The metaverse is an emergent derivative of AI and thus is one of the primary sectors to be invested in, even if we never called it a metaverse until Zuckerberg posted his metaverse YouTube video. I.e. gaming, virtual reality, augmented reality, social media, VR and AR creator tools are part of the metaverse picture or family or trend. In fact, the metaverse acts as a reminder that we are not invested in ordinary stocks like, the likes of Walmart, Tesco or Energy Corporation, even banks. These are quantum AI stocks that are seeking to change the very nature of our reality. So here's a reminder of the quantum AI big picture, for we tend to forget, get lost in the detail in quarterly earning reports. In fact, it may prove useful to revisit my original analysis of mid-2020, i.e. machine intelligence, quantum AI stocks megatrend forecast from 2020 to 2035, so as to keep oneself grounded in the big picture of what I expect to play out over the next 15 years. The big picture is that of an exponential quantum AI megatrend that is reinventing the very nature of reality, which is why there have been times in the recent past when I have tended to completely ignore quarterly earning reports because they tend to be a waste of time, distraction from the big picture. The quantum AI megatrend implies to expect that we probably exist in some form of simulation where the primary currency of our universe is information. that lifelike VR is coming and likely will manifest long before my forecast date of 2032. And remember, this video is an excerpt from my truly epic extensive analysis of the metaverse that was first made available to patrons who support my work. It covers everything of how to profit from the emerging metaverse, what stocks to invest in, what have a high probability of success, and how to get hands-on into the metaverse, to immerse oneself, to profit from it. Because that's my primary purpose. It's not just to don a headset and play games, walking around like a zombie. I want to make money from the metaverse. Huge amount, and we are at the beginning of this metaverse mega-trend. Because that's what it is. Early days. We are at the very early days of the mega-trend. It's going to be probably the bigger than smartphones. I don't know how big it will be, but it will be bigger than smartphones. The metaverse or omniverse, whatever you call it. I call it virtual worlds, virtual reality. It's going to be bigger than smartphones. Again, the whole of this analysis was first made available to patrons, and you get access to them and access to my recent analysis that warns of an early warning of an increasing risk of a market panic event based on my CI18 stock market crash indicator. It's not a sell signal, but it is a warning to expect significantly lower prices ahead, either as a panic event or panic attack. Yeah, many investors will have a panic attack, or as a bear market of sorts. And that was just posted recently. And then there is my most recent analysis, which is, and also access to my latest analysis, which is the current status of the high risk bio and tech stocks portfolio, seeking to capitalize on this unloved sector, the biotech sector, as well as a sprinkling of metaverse and tech stocks. Note, the information provided in this video is solely to enable you to make your own investment decisions and does not constitute personal investment recommendation or personalized advice. So, the primary metaverse stocks. You want to know what they are? Well, obviously Facebook or Meta. It should come to everyone's mind, but so should Microsoft, equally if not more so than Facebook, due to products such as Teams and its heavy presence in gaming space, which Facebook is desperately attempting to enter via its Oculus VR headsets. For instance, I am a registered Quest developer, so as to be able to unlock all of the features of the Quest headset's functions, such as to overclock the headsets, i.e. to run at a higher frame rates and resolution, though at the cost of battery life, because they are standalone headsets. And who knows, I may well create a few virtual environments within the Quest platform. Though Facebook, I have to say, are control freaks, as they intend to squeeze money out of Quest users and developers. Another big player in the metaverse that you're all familiar with is Nvidia, the GPU hardware that renders the metaverse into existence. So good on all those who still hold Nvidia stock. You made the right decision, even if I can't stomach the 90 times earnings valuation. Nvidia is a primary hardware provider of the metaverse, and of course we have the recent announcement of the Omniverse, which is basically the same as the metaverse. This is going to be multiple worlds and platforms and systems that are eventually going to gel together, link together, so you can hop from one metaverse to another. Amazon with its cloud service and content generation, and then there's TENCENT, another gaming giant, though I don't have a clue what's going to happen over the next, given the CCP shenanigans, what they're up to. 16, you will pay 16 billion or you'll be shot. Not far off from being the Nazis, CCP. And of course, not forgetting one of the favourite high-risk metaverse gaming stocks that now has been brought to immediate attention of all. ROBLOX. It's expensive, but let's see it fall to something like $70, and then we can pick up a bargain for something that has all the hallmarks of being a huge metaverse stock. All of these are primary metaverse stocks, and on we go down the list. Intel, TSMC and Western Digital, and even floundering Corsair, all are metaverse exposure stocks. So if one is invested in AI and high risk tech stocks, then one is already exposed to the metaverse in one shape or another, and it won't be long before the likes of Apple and Google will be joining Facebook to become primary metaverse stocks. Either both developing augmented reality products that have yet to make it to market, but we are likely to see announcements during 2022. So, the quantum AI metaverse stocks. This is the list of the AI stocks in terms of percent exposure to the metaverse, both for current and anticipated exposure during 2022, before we go marching off to buy dozens of unnecessary high-risk small-cap stocks where you're basically gambling a coin flip if it's going to survive or not. Virtually every tech stock in my AI and high-risk portfolio, bar IBM and Tesla, are metaverse stocks. Even Coinbase has a stake in the metaverse as a payments gateway for transactions across hundreds of cryptos. And so all should to varying degree be exposed to the emerging at least $1 trillion metaverse market. This is why I keep referring to AI stocks as being primary, because virtually every unfolding technological development is a subset or derivative of AI that we are already exposed to in some form. So given that, we understand that the AI stocks are primary and only need to maintain exposure to. So I note to myself to get my skates on rebuilding exposure to the likes of Microsoft and Apple, whilst at the moment I just cannot stomach buying Amazon or Nvidia given the eye-watering high valuations. And beyond these primary metaverse stocks come the creator stocks, the software platforms used to create the metaverse, the likes of Unity and Autodesk, and clearly game environments that are morphing into virtual worlds, which means I need to reevaluate the likes of Sony that patrons prompt me from time to time to take a look at. So this is the metaverse stocks universe, an indication of the widespread and breadth of potential metaverse stocks, which looks like it's near infinite, as the number of virtual worlds will soon be. IBM. How is IBM a metaverse stock? Oh, even IBM's creeped onto this list. Wasn't expecting that. So when I look across at the top 4 AI tech stocks, 2 are hitting the nail on the head right now, and 2 have so far missed the boat or appear to have, i.e. Apple and Google, which have nothing to show from what I can see, whilst here is a closer look at 5 existing and 4 new potential metaverse stocks to see if there are any opportunities to accumulate. Again, that and the rest of this extensive analysis has first been made available to patrons who support my work. Extensive, epic analysis, one-stop analysis on the metaverse. You only need to read this analysis to get up to speed and get going in investing and capitalizing on the metaverse. So for immediate first access to all of my analysis and trend forecast, then do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $4 per month. And of course you get access to my stock market crash bear indicator. That's warning of a market panic event, at least, or a bear market of sorts. Anybody warns of significantly lower prices ahead. You know, all these people FOMOing for new highs are going to be disappointed. But more on that in that analysis, which is extensive. And then we have my AI tech stocks buying levels as financial crisis 2.0 continues to brew Again, extensive analysis, then how to protect your investments from the permanent transitory inflation, which even now the Fed has thrown up its hands and surrendered. Yes, it's not transitory anymore. It's looking like it's permanent. It took them a while. And of course, then we have my most recent analysis, which is on an update of the high risk bio and tech stocks portfolio current state, what I am doing, what I'm expecting to happen, what stocks I'm accumulating right now, and I'm pointing the finger at TENCENT. If you don't have exposure to TENCENT, you're going to be kicking yourself. It's trading at Hong Kong right now at 438. That is cheap. And what is it? $56 in TCEHY on the OTC market. You're going to be kicking yourselves, folks. Anyway, it covers all of the high risk stocks portfolio. Updating, there's about 22 stocks in that portfolio. Updating what I'm holding for the long term, what I'm seeking to accumulate more of, and to what degree. Small buys, big buys, buys. Yeah, even stocks where I'm saying bye to, those that I'm seeking to distribute out of over time. Maybe they're too high risk for me now. Anyway, that's in that analysis. So, again, do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $4 per month, which is nothing for what you're going to get access to. Even one of these articles, will set you up, set your portfolio up. The Metaverse article alone will set your portfolio up for the next 10 years. And you're getting that access for $4 per month. I would pay 10 times that. And as for my schedule of analysis, primary on my list is to complete my extensive analysis on how to get rich, which is 90% done, which I've spent a good 9 months on, and it's just about done. Just needs to be corrected, insert some images, and then get it posted. Now, this is not garbage like, which stocks to buy to get rich on. This is really how to get rich, what you need to do. You need to get your skates on, get off your lazy chair and do some work. And this covers in strategic terms and practical terms what one needs to do to become rich. Hardcore, not waffle. There's no waffle in there like filler that most people put on. Watch these YouTube videos. There's 90% filler and 1%, 2% actual practical. And I already updated my high risk stocks portfolio. I look at the UK house prices and the impact of the unfolding Chinese property market crash that I've been warning of since July. That is a financial crisis brewing and it's going to impact house prices. And so that's pending. It's about 65% done. And then I'm going to take a look at the US dollar and British pound as those forecasts have now been completed. The British pound has fallen to around 1.32. So it's time for a new forecast on the British pound. And then I'm going to take a reluctant look at gold price. Because I'll tell you what, gold and silver, they've really been supplanted by cryptos. There's a lot more upside for cryptos than there is for gold and silver. But nevertheless, I'll take a look to see if there's anything brewing. And that's my schedule analysis, all of which will be first made available to patrons who support my work. So do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $4. And I hope you have a great Christmas holiday and all that Omicron or other variants. Orangecron, probably next. The scientists, they're milking it. Anyway, I better not say anymore because blooming YouTube, you know what it's like. If you mention the Chinese Wuhan biolab virus, what they tend to do to your videos. So, have a great holiday and I'll see you again shortly in the next video in this series. So do remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel as well to keep up to date with the videos as they are posted. Your Metaverse Invested Analyst.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should all acquaintance be forgot and all lang syne? For all lang syne, my dear, for all lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. Take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. For all lang syne, my dear, for all lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne.
Yeah, the reflection.